Go.
Pharmacists compound and dispense prescribed drugs in a healthcare facility environment. They're also responsible for transferring prescriptions, handling income physician calls, logging data into the computer, and drug utilization review. They rely on experience and judgment to plan and accomplish goals. Pharmacists also perform a variety of tasks and typically report to a manager.
Because many community and hospital pharmacies are open for extended hours or 24/7, most pharmacists may work evening, nights, weekends, and holidays. Also, consultant pharmacists may travel to nursing homes or other facilities to monitor people during therapy. Statistic-wise, about 1 out of every 7 pharmacists work part-time. In 1998, most full-time salaried pharmacists worked about 40 hours a week. Some pharmacists, including self-employed pharmacists, work more than 50 hours a week.
The starting salary for a pharmacist with less than a year of experience is between $67,589 and $99,788 as of January 2011. In 2013, the average starting salary for pharmacists is $73,037, and the average high-end salary received by a well-experienced pharmacist is $132,467.
Pharmacists require a bachelor's degree and in some cases an advanced degree in pharmacy and is licensed to practice. They must also be familiar with standard concepts, practices, and procedures within their particular field. Also, a certain degree of creativity and latitude is required.
Most pharmacists are happy with their job and satisfied. They get a high salary, or like as compared to a pretty good salary, payment of salary, and however their job hours are usually very high, and they work many hours a week. And you've heard up to 40 to 50 hours a week they work, and they work holidays and weekends usually. So they are satisfied with their job, and they are happy for the most part, but some do get stressed out a lot, and that's pretty much it.
I'm speaking Spanish.
I'll start. All right, part 1, description of the job. Be specific. What are the daily tasks required, and what does each day consist of?
Filling prescriptions, counseling patients. That's the primary. Everything else is kind of working around that.
All right. Okay. Is your job the same every day, or is it cyclical?
No. Certain aspects are. A lot of it's different, but usually different.
All right. What responsibilities do you oversee?
Technicians typing up prescriptions, making sure things are filled correctly.
All right.
Counseling patients.
Gotcha. All right. Okay. So part 2, typical work schedule.
There is no typical work schedule.
All right. So okay. So all right. So here's
It
one
can go
question.
from 7 to noon to 10. It depends.
17. All right. Okay. So what is your weekly schedule? All right. So do you usually work Mondays and Wednesdays here, or like what is your normal weekly schedule? You said it varies, right?
It varies, yeah.
All right. Yeah. You said that. Okay. So also, is there time for kids in this job, or is there not much
Kids?
leeway? Yes, sir.
No. Well, you mean like having kids?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Having kids and just taking care of a family.
Kids, sure.
Yeah, all right. Okay. Cool. Are weekends required or evenings ever?
Yes.
They are. All right. Gotcha.
Both.
Okay. Are you paid overtime if applicable?
No,
No. All right. Okay. So.
pharmacists are exempt.
Okay. Is it easy or difficult to get away on vacation?
Very difficult.
Really? How?
Scheduling, they're usually doing it. You have to find somebody to cover your shift. A lot of times there
Okay.
aren't enough people. So it's pretty difficult to get off.
Yes, sir. All right. So part 3 is salary. What's usually the starting salary of this position? Of the just pharmacies?
I think they're starting out now. Out of school, last I heard, about 55 an hour or something like that.
All right. What would you say is like the middle range of
It
the
doesn't really
pharmacies?
vary too much. That'd be a good.
All right. Okay, 55. All right. Okay, so part 4, education required. What education is required?
You've got to have a 6-year Doctor of Pharmacy, PharmD degree.
Yes, sir. All right. How long is the school usually, and is it hard to get into the school?
Yes, it's increasingly difficult to get into schools. You know, even though there are more schools than there used to be, there's a lot more competition to get in. So.
All right. All right. What percentage usually get in? Do you really know, or is it just a small usually percentage?
Last I heard, 25 to 30%.
25 to 30. All right. Okay. How much does it cost? Is it much more than other schools, like other universities?
It depends. If you go to a state-supported school like University of Houston or University of Texas, you might get by for $10,000 a semester. Private schools run around 25 to 30.
All right. Okay. Okay. So here we go. Okay. Next, part 5, job satisfaction. Are most people in this career happy or satisfied with their career?
No, they're pretty satisfied with it.
All right. That's good. That's good to hear. Do you like your job?
Sure.
That's good. All right. What are some of the pros and cons about your job?
Pros is you get to interact with patients. The money's not too bad. And then there's a little bit of flexibility if you need to. You can trade shifts with other people sometimes.
All right.
Some of the pros is a lot of times you cannot trade shifts with other people and you're stuck here, and it's hard to get to hard to get this distracting. And sometimes it's hard to get off, and there's long hours a lot of times with no breaks.
Yes, sir. All right. All right. Just one more question. Some jobs are associated with an increased rate of suicide or an increased number of divorce. Have you found any evidence that relates your chosen career with any of the factors listed above?
No, everybody I know is pretty much that are married, pretty stable marriage, and I don't know anybody that's killed themselves yet.
Oh, yeah. That'd be horrible.
So,
All right. All right. Well, thanks. That's it. That's
okay,
it.
yeah.
Thank you, sir.
There are worse things.
All right. So, part 1, description of the job. What are the daily tasks required, and what does each day consist of? Be specific.
Okay, each day consists of actually filling prescriptions, taking orders from doctors, talking to doctors about side effects, drug interactions from the prescriptions they may have written. My day also consists of getting schedules written for my employees, payroll for my employees, training for make sure getting their training done. Probably good enough there.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's good.
More to it than that, but
Okay.
we're in a hurry.
Okay. So is your job the same every day, or is it cyclical? I mean, yeah.
Pretty much same every day.
All right.
Same every day. Not monotonous, but same thing every day.
Okay.
Filling prescriptions, on the phone with doctors, dealing with the employees.
All right. Okay. Cool. Okay. So So next section, part 2, typical work schedule. All right. So what are the hours that you work, or typical shifts you work each day, like 8 to 5, or is it only on call?
40 hours a week, morning shifts, night shifts, weekends, all of the above.
Gotcha. All right. All right. Okay. So is there time for kids usually in this profession?
You mean for me personally to have kids?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. For employees and stuff. And you.
Yeah, you can have kids in this profession, but working every other weekend or so takes away from that.
Would be difficult.
Working till 9 o'clock at night like tonight, of course, your kid's gonna be in bed by then, so it takes away from them.
All right. All right. So part 3, salary. What is usually the starting salary of this position?
Well, 6 figures.
6 figures. All right. Okay. What would you say like the average salary is for this position? Just
150.
All right.
Somewhere there, I guess.
All right. That makes okay. That's pretty on. All right. So next section, part 4, education required. What education is required for this job, and be specific.
6 years in pharmacy school, and you got to get your doctorate's degree.
All right.
Come out with a PharmD, a doctorate in pharmacy.
Okay. Okay. And is it hard to get into the school? And
Yes, it is hard.
really?
Yes.
Okay. What percentage usually get into the school?
Oh gosh, I don't know if I know the numbers to tell you the correct answer to that.
All right. No, that's
I really
fine.
don't.
Uh-huh.
I just know it's very hard to get in, very competitive.
Yeah, I'm sure it's very small. That's just true. All right. So next section, part 5, job satisfaction. Are most people in this career happy or satisfied with their career? Would you say?
Probably just that. Probably just satisfied.
All right, gotcha. Okay, and okay, so one more question. Some jobs are associated with an increased rate of suicide or an increased number of divorce. Have you found any evidence that relates your chosen career with any of the factors listed
No,
above?
I personally have never. No.
All right, say like
Or
your job.
friends.
Oh, okay.
I haven't. Any of the pharmacists I know who are friends of mine. No, I haven't seen that.
All right. So you really like your job very much, and you.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That's
If I
good.
didn't have to work night and weekends, that'd be all right.
Gotcha. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you for the interview. All right. Part 1. Description of the job. What are the daily tasks required, and what does each day usually consist of? Be specific.
Alrighty. Well, most of our days are involved spending time with patients, explaining medications, how they use them, what to expect as far as side effects, and what to be watching out for and taking care of things regarding their health. And then also we do a lot of checking for drug interactions, behind the scenes work to make sure that the medications are in stock, and of course making sure that all the insurance claims are paid properly and the patient's co-pays are correct.
All right. That's good. Okay. Okay. Is your job the same every day, or is it cyclical? Is it like a cycle?
No, the job changes every day. Every day is
All
a
right.
new day. So lots of variations. Every day brings new, different challenges. We do have a lot of things that repeat themselves over and over, efficient and friendly to our guests and those kinds of things. So a lot of things involving training go along with that, and constantly updating the training and making sure that the people that work with me have all the information and the tools they need to do their jobs properly.
All right. Okay, that's good. Cool. All right. Part 2, typical work schedule. Okay. What hours do you usually work? Include hours worked or typical shifts worked each day? Is it like 8 to 5, or is it
Okay.
different?
Well, in a community retail pharmacy, the hours typically are quite long. We're open from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m., Monday through Friday, and then Saturdays and Sundays 9 to 6. So my job is I cover about half of those hours. So most of my days when I'm working go from early in the morning before the job changes every day. Every day is a new day. So lots of variations. Every day brings new, different challenges. We do have a lot of things that repeat themselves over and over again, either day to day or even within the same day. And then there's a lot of things that come around on a seasonal basis. So things such as immunizations come by around seasonally. We don't do those all year long.
All right.
Different kinds of immunizations. So there's a lot of variety and a lot of changes, and you're just going to have to roll with the changes.
Yes, sir. Thanks. Okay. What responsibilities do you oversee?
Well, my responsibilities, first of all, include hiring, training, and making sure to properly supervise a team of people that work to make sure the prescription services are accurate and efficient and friendly to our guests and those kinds of things. So a lot of things involving...
What's usually the starting salary for this position for pharmacists?
Most graduates coming right out of pharmacy school, and it's tough to get into pharmacy school. Pharmacy school's a difficult degree to get. It's hard to get in. It's very competitive to get in. And then it's very tough to make the grades and stick it out. But if you get through all of the school, get accepted, make it through all of the tough education, and then actually go through and get your license, because after you graduate, then you have to pass all the board exams.
Oh.
And so that's administered by a national organization. Then you are able to earn a salary. Typically, it starts around 106 to 114,000, depending on which part of the country you're in.
Okay. And like what's What would you say is the high end for the salary? I mean, like when you're well experienced, that's
Well,
obviously
probably,
the starting.
You'll have pharmacists that are well. Certainly, there's no ceiling. If you go into some of the
Part
positions
4,
that you can do.
education required. You just kind of said some of those, but we'll just go over them real quick.
Yeah, to kind of repeat what I said before, you have to first of all have your pre-pharmacy certification and your pre-pharmacy course schedule out of the way before you can apply to pharmacy school. So that typically takes 3 to 4 years, and typically most of our students that we're seeing now coming out of pharmacy school didn't get into pharmacy school until they were able to get a bachelor's degree. So it's not always required to get into pharmacy school, but in most of the time they'll have a bachelor's degree in biology or chemistry. Like that. Then you make application to and get accepted to pharmacy school. That typically is about 4 years of curriculum study at a very high level. Once you graduate, you'll have a doctorate degree, a doctor of pharmacy degree. And that doctorate degree then allows you to sit for what's called the board exams. The board exams are the national licensing to make sure that you earn your pharmacist license of your liberal arts studies. And then to get into pharmacy school, there's a very rigorous psychological examination. There's a lot of both interviews and testing with online evaluations where you do a lot of that kind of thing. And then if you get through all of that, then they'll let you sit for the more advanced interviews and you get through all that screening. And of course, then you have to have the good grades. I think most of the kids that I interviewed the last time on the campus, for them to get into pharmacy school, the average GPA was about a 3.93 with their bachelor's degree in college. So they were really the cream of the crop to get in. For instance, University of Arizona, the University of Texas, the last time I interviewed down on their campus, they were accepting about 160 students that year, and they had over 750 people applying for those 160 pharmacy degrees. And that doctorate degree then allows you to sit for what's called the board exams. The board exams are the national licensing to make sure that you earn your pharmacist license. And then if you pass those board exams, then you can become a pharmacist.
Okay, great. Okay. What are the requirements to get into the pharmacy school? Is it grades, experience, prerequisites? Is there certain different ones?
All of that. Yeah, they have a very stringent prerequisite program, so you have to get all of your more basic college-level chemistry, biology, math courses all out of the way, along with some of your basics of your liberal arts studies. And then to get into pharmacy school, there's a very rigorous psychological examination. There's a lot of both interviews and testing with online evaluations where you do a lot of that kind of thing. And then if you get through all of that, you're licensed there. And then typically while you're taking your license exam, if you didn't get all enough hours in to meet the state requirements, which is about 1,500 clock hours, then you can finish those up while you're sitting for your boards. Typically it takes 3 to 6 months after you graduate from school before you can sit for and pass your board exams. So that gives you additional time to finish your internship. And then at that point in time, your ongoing continuing education kicks in. So once you're licensed, you still have to do professional continuing education courses. For the state license in Texas, it's 30 hours every 2 years.
All right, yes sir. All right, thank you. All right, last section here, part 5, job satisfaction. Are most people in this career happy or satisfied with their career?
I think most people are, especially if you're the kind of person who got into the career for the right reasons, and that reason was to help people.
Yes, sir.
You're not gonna.
Do you like your job, sir?
Yes, absolutely. You have to be a people person. You have to enjoy spending time with people. You have to be a perfectionist. You have to pay attention.